Hello, good morning. I was a sleepy baby and I can't get to sleep, so I'm gonna paint. I'm just moving the table. Hi, I got some pretty watercolors, and so I'm gonna open it. I don't know how to open it. I got it from. That's cool. That's kind of fun. What is it? Oh, this little hooky thing. It's connected there, and you can see it there. I don't know that's interesting. I also can't open this. Is it just me, or is the more tired you are, the less like fine motor control skills that you have? So maybe, I don't know about any listeners of this video. By the way, I got this little watercolor thing on Amazon. It was on sale. And it had lots of colors. Look at the pretty colors. I'm excited. I got this because of my little finger painting fun that I had the other day. Well, okay, it was like a couple weeks ago. That was loud. But yeah, I was like, I want to do more painting. Also, the therapist, who, by the way, liked my my finger painting masterpiece. She was like, I'm so proud of you. You connected with like your little self. I was like, yeah. Also, I was dealing with a panic attack, and she's like, that's a good way of trying to, work through a panic attack. I was like, thank you. She's very nice and very encouraging and supportive. And I am apparently unable to open up watercolor things. Come on, buddy. Ha! I got one side open. I looked. Ooh, I've never had like a real, like, watercolor kit thing. Ooh, I could put this here. Like that. So apparently, you can do some different things. I don't know what this is. Oh, that feels. That's like, that felt greasy. Oh, it is. Is it? I don't know what that is. It feels like a calligraphy. Oh, you fill it with water. Oh, that is so fun. Do you fill it with water? If you don't fill it with water, what do you do? Because it's empty. And there's no instructions that comes with this thing. How charming. A finale. How charming. They just were like, oh, anybody buying watercolor stuff is going to know what this is. Does it, like, slurp up through there? Nope. Oh, well. There's apparently, like, multiple ways of doing watercoloring. I know this because I spent, like, 2 seconds Googling. Okay, this could take 10 years. Nope, it's fine. We're painting the pages blank. That will apparently be a recurring theme with this. Okay, so this is taking longer than I want, but you know what? We can be patient. Yeah, so apparently you can, like, wet the canvas thingy, paper, whatever it is, and, like, then also wet, so you can do paint wet on wet, which is where you get the paper wet, and then oh, I forgot this too. You're supposed to, like, put a little droppy drop in there. Here, we'll put the droppy drops in, because apparently it needs to, like, kind of sit a little bit. And I don't know what color is all I'm going to use, so I'm just going to do like a drop. Maybe that's what that little clear brushy thing is for. But I don't know how to get it to. Well, this part's just fun already. I don't know how to get the brushy thing open. Like, do you use. They were just like, drop. Like I say, I spent all of, like, maybe 10 seconds. Well, I said 2 seconds previously, but I spent like a couple seconds on web browser senpai about this, and then was like, okay, that's enough. Not because it was actually sufficient, but because maybe I woke up at like 2:18 this morning, a.m. my time. It is now like 5 something a.m. my time. You will notice a approximately 3-hour discrepancy between when I woke up and now. Would you be correct in concluding that therefore I got back to sleep during those 3 hours? No. The universe is not so kind.
This is what happens. That's sleepy baby. I'm just a baby. Why is the universe like this? I'm just a baby. Let me be a sleep baby, not just a sleepy baby, but an asleep baby. Because I'm just a baby, and I said asleep.
I am recently acquainted with apparently you say eepy if you're trying to be cute about being sleepy. Do you spread that on there? Oh, maybe you spread it in? Nope, because when you do that, then it kind of turns the tip of the brush. Oh, whatever. Yeah, so this isn't like... Should I take this out of the... I'm going to take it out of the sketchbook. Is that a good idea? I don't know. It just seems like if I leave this in the sketchbook, it's gonna
mess it up.
Anyway, so yeah, this cute little... You get eepy. Eepy is apparently the cute way of saying sleepy. And because I am not a fan, I'm not an excessive fan of anything kawaii, I'm not over here going,
oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's an eepy baby.
it was adorable. I heard it on a ASMR roleplay, because imagine that. That is presently where I gain a lot of my pop culture context. So none of it is like years outdated at all. Because it's not like... I realized something, guys. There was some... So first of all, I have found a couple new really sweet ASMR artists. I think I've mentioned one of them before on the channel, or I might have mentioned others. Anyway, I have no idea, because at this moment I can't hardly remember what I have mentioned on the channel. I might have mentioned that this is, by the way, Hello Wings to Fly Audio and ASMR, or Wings to Fly Dreams Audio and ASMR. I was trying to match... I was like, oh, I should change my title to match the email and the other accounts. Anyway, like the Tumblr and the Instagram. I have no idea, gang. I have no idea. I'm struggling with consistency in uploading, except for the long videos that I create at random moments and then just stick on the channel, and I'm like, yes, fly free, little friend, have fun. When it comes to like Tumblr and like uploading the poems on like a dependable basis, there is none. Which I kind of think is kind of par for the course for Tumblr. I could be wrong, but I feel like Tumblr isn't as much of a, or at least not in the areas that I've seen, it doesn't seem like it's as much of a like, this is how we have to do things space. I don't know. I'm just over here trying to watercolor. It looks like moss. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Kind of tornado-y looking. As usual, I started like 90. Ooh, I like that color. At the moment, I'm just kind of figuring out colors. Okay. I don't even know, guys. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, don't you just love it when you poof paint into water and you and then it like little clouds swirls. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, my tea's probably done. The other day I introduced Delightful Human to Dandelion tea. And she was so sweet and so gracious. And she was like, that tastes like it would be really healthy for you. And I was like, okay, you're an adorable human. And I'm kind of honored to be in your presence, because that was really, really cute. I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. It both is quote unquote healthy for you, and I'm sure it's an acquired taste, I'm sure. I grew up with what my beloved tenderly refers to as my dirt juice.
Hey, babe, do you want to try some of my teas?
Thank you for offering me some of your hot dirt juice, baby, but no, I'm good. Thank you, though. Oh, chocolate.
I like.
Me like the chocolate. I've tried to be a lot more like, oh, I know what tangent I'm on. Let's finish the tangent before we continue with stuff. And I'm literally just like, at this point, literally about to talk about tangents, and then I just go off on another one. Anyway, I've been really trying in the videos to like kind of put a pin in tangents and be able to like complete them. I'm beginning to really understand how abstract artists have so much fun. Like, you don't have to worry about it. You just go blap and tanjan. You've done something fun with your brush. Obviously, oh my gosh, that there's so much more to like being an abstract artist than just playing around with where your brush is going, obviously. But at the most simplistic of its tenets is the cause of just kind of making beautiful shapes with beautiful colors. And oh, ooh, that was a nice little cloud. Please, if anybody listening to this is or knows an abstract artist, please do not think for a second that I in any way oversimplify their art. It is just, I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep here and can't be as eloquent as I want about how much just now I was not eloquent enough about all that abstract artists put into their very, very beautiful stuff. Subjectively, I do, as I've mentioned before, tend to enjoy a little bit more realism in my art. But I can objectively really appreciate the beauty and either the beauty in the symmetry or the beauty in the lack of symmetry, the different colors. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Actually I do. I'm having fun. 4 hours sleep. I couldn't get back to sleep, guys. It was kind of rude. Okay, it was very rude of the universe, but who's counting? I'm not. Counting doesn't work in that, but whatever. This is so much fun. I'm just like, oh, I could try this color here. And I'll do this kind of stroke. Well, now I've practically obliterated that blue. Wouldn't it be cool to like be like a genius person and be doing this and be doing actually cool things and not just like, hi, I'm pretending to be 5. Summation of a therapist. Tangent. The therapist that I get to see is very, very nice, but my free employee assistance program, counseling sessions from work are all gone. So I might see in a month or so or whatever if, you know.
Hi, I'm still struggling. Please, babes, may I have some more?
But this doesn't tend to be how living in a capitalistic society works.
Peps, please.
Can you pay for it?
Maybe not.
Goodbye.
Okay. I'm not sad. I mean, I am, but whatever. It's fine.
So I wonder what like the difference is between wet on wet and dry on dry. Because like what's the texture? Because I kind of looked it up. Oh, that's what one of the tangents I was on. Yeah, I kind of tried to look this up and was like, oh, I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. I will not be able to do justice to this at all. So I'm just gonna not worry about it too much. Ooh, now we can spread that paint a bit. Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Did you sleep okay last night? Or are you trying to get to sleep? Or are you in the middle of a day? I hope that wherever you're existing, the last time that you attempted to sleep went at least moderately well. Well, that got rid of that little pink dot. Because sleep is nice. Sleep is very nice. Ooh, and now I'm definitely finger painting. Yeah, so the therapist is like, what finger painting? And so I was finding finger paints, and then I saw watercolors, and I was like, I remember watercolors. At one point, my sister and I got out the watercolors and like painted gloves and shoes on our hands and feet. And when I tell you that okay, so we were doing the whole, you colored your hand. Oh yeah, see, like that. Except, you did your whole hand. And then we were like, if front is fine with paint, why not back? And so we proceeded, we proceeded, I'm pretty sure it was my idea. It may have been my sister's. I really don't know. But, yeah. Next thing my mom knew, we'd not only a bunch of pieces of paper, we were like, not tiny, but we were still young. We were in grade school, but no, we were not toddlers. That's why it was probably my idea. As you have seen on this channel, I don't tend to be the most incredibly mature human being sometimes. We not only had all these lovely pages full of our little handprints and footprints, we had drawn long gloves and socks across our arms and feet. So yeah, that happened, and we'd been very clean. We hadn't made a mess or anything, but my mom was just like, why are you painting on yourselves? And it was like, art, mother! And she was like, what have I done? She was very, very chill in a lot of ways, which was part of why I would get quite random ideas and proceed to be like, hey sis, let's do this. But then it would just be very odd moments when my mom would then just not be thrilled, She was kind of unpredictable that way, which didn't make life exciting at all. Well, I was going to be like a normal-ish hairstyle, but then I had more paint. Oh no, it looks like a hair cap, like a silk cap. This is an odd little face. No, it looks more like a pompadour. It looks like a nothing. That's what it looks like. Yep, that looks like nothing.
This is how I feel.
Like a shadow on you.
A sneak peek.
I realized I was thinking about, like, I want to work on showing my paints. And I was like, okay, ooh, I could do a little ramble video. And I was like, I have nothing to say. And I'm like, but I'm lonely. And that was when I went, we see the real reason that we started this channel. Because I get lonely. And I just wanted to make up some friends to talk to.
So if anybody is here, thank you for being a friend that I can talk to. That's so nice of you. Appreciation, fam. Appreciation.
So funny. There is like no rhyme or reason to this, and somehow this is still very, very satisfying. Usually, that's not my forte, to be super chill with just which is maybe why this is good for me, and maybe why the therapist was like, oh, I think that it would be a fabulous idea for you to get in touch with little you. She was like, did you feel connected with little you when you did the finger painting? And like I said, well, as you all know, when I made the video, I was kind of trying to deal with the fact that I was trying to not totally have a panic attack. And so I was like, I was kind of, stressed when I was doing it. And so, like, kind of, but I mean, it did feel really nice. And I did, kind of catch a little glimpse of that whimsy or whatever. And she was like, okay, good. Well, you know what? I think you should do some more. And, this might be cool for you. Why don't you see if you can hang it up on the fridge? And I was like, uh-huh, sure. I could do that. That doesn't feel overwhelming at all. And I don't know why it does, but somehow, oh boy, it does. Like, especially something like this. But I think that's kind of the point, is to, like, just connect with that little innocent inner self and put it up on the fridge. The complicated thing then would be is, first of all, we don't, well, okay, so first of all, we don't really have, like, people come over a lot of the time, because my husband is very busy, and I'm very introverted. So most of the time, I'm super good. I'm very good at entertaining myself, and or even creating playmates to to do things with. But like, ooh, that looks like a deep mustard, like a spice mustard, stone ground mustard. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm hungry. But on the off chance that we did have anybody, it's cool how these are like the same colors but completely different colors. Because, like, I can see the difference between them, but they're very, very similar, if you don't mind my saying so. We don't really have people over. Like I say, my husband's busy, and I'm tired and shy and overwhelmed and dealing with chronic burnout. So, and introverted, and so all of the things. And so, it's not like I'm super wondering, like, oh my gosh, what would people say if they came over? There is the question. There would be that. I thought you all didn't have any kids. Nope. Why would you think we had children? Just because there's, art hung up on the fridge? I'll have you know that there are children that can create so much more sophisticated art than what you see right here. And there are adults who cannot create much more sophisticated art than you see right here. Case in point. The tired I am, the more I do tend to downward spiral just a little bit, so we're going to try and keep aware of that. Ooh, is it an F for wings to fly? I don't know. If it is, it was very unintentional. Very beautiful, very powerful. That was an incredible video. Happy little face here. Feels very incongruent. Like, just all this swirl and then shape. Okay, hear me out. If this survives the apocalypse and future the future cockroach humanoids that inhabit the planet after the apocalypse occurs, once they build up this wonderful society and they have the cockroach equivalent of what's it called, archaeologists, and they're digging through the remains, the rubble of the remains of the civilization of that species known as humans, whose squabbling led to their own demise. First of all, if this is anything that survives the apocalypse, that's just kind of a crying shame, because there's so many other things that should survive the apocalypse. But if this did happen to survive the apocalypse, and the cockroach friends were like, I did not remember to rinse off, but it's okay because they're both yellow-ish over here, so it's fine, right? Different shades of yellow, but they're all yellow. No, I do not have any type of obsessive tendencies at all. Why would you think that just because this now represents every single color in this watercolor set that I got? Why would you think that? It's so weird. Like, be realistic over here. The last one is white. So literally I did this like the opposite of how you're supposed to do this. Because you, oh my gosh, that's kind of entertaining. Yeah, you're supposed to apparently do watercoloring. You do the light stuff and then you build on that so that it goes from the light parts of your painting to the darker parts of your painting, like you build it in layers. And I'm literally putting, just because again, no obsessive tendencies, I'm putting brushstrokes of white from the white paint thing on there. Wow. Wow. It's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, if if the humanoid cockroach species is bound to survive whatever apocalypse we humans dish out to each other, because we have people in charge of the world that can't get along and have the emotional intelligence of splinters. These humanoid cockroach archaeologists, if this survived, which again would be a huge pity if this was something that survived, but if they would see this and be like, wow, humans were stupid, that's why they blew themselves up. No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It could be like, no, this is hung up in a gallery someday. Obviously not. This is hung up in a gallery someday. And obviously the curators are like, the weird little smiley faces reference. This is it. I walk in. Obviously this is not happening. But like in a comedy sketch, right? So comedy sketch. It would have to be a comedy sketch for this to be up in an art museum. Or on an art display. Comedy sketch. This is up on an art display. Curator. Yes, we know this by point of reference. This is not, and then there's the heart. Okay, perfect. Yes, this is definitely upside down or upside up. We wouldn't know otherwise. And then I breeze in all like, oh yes, fancy artist. I have my little, my little paintbrush in my hand, like a little, Cruella de Vil's like cigarette holder. And obviously I'm not in an animal skin coat because I like animal skins on, animals. And that's kind of it. And I'm, just bashing around. Oh, look at my art, look at my art. Oh my goodness. Oh, darling, you have it wrong. It's positioned incorrectly. And they're like, oh, I should have known. Per all the different, your style of like taking things up and trying to, oh, forgive me, that point of reference, like this is how it is. No, darling. There we go. Or you can do it this way. It doesn't really matter. As long as that is not either directly upside down or directly upside up. This is it. Actually, I kind of like how this looks with that. What about this? Yep, for some reason, ridiculously enough, I do kind of like ridiculous. Thanks for existing, my little goblin friends. I just, like I said, was kind of lonely. I might do some more little silly watercolor painting videos. I don't know. I'm just really tired. And I either want to be asleep or I want to be not tired and be able to be awake. But I'm so tired right now, gang. My head hurts. My eyelids feel like they're closing. But as I mentioned, I have been trying for like 3 hours to go back to sleep. So, yeah, good time. I hope that whatever you are doing right now, you proceed to go do something that is nice to yourself. And whether or not that is simply passing by your reflection and for once in your life, not frowning, even smiling a little. You know that getting a smile from yourself, it still counts as a smile, and smiles are good. Smiles are happy. So yeah. Okay, my little goblin friends. Rock on and love. Bye.